Today, I'm going to talk about the difference between your soul mission and your heart's desire, mostly because I've had this conversation with a lot of people recently, and I've had many of them ask me to make a podcast episode about it. So I thought, okay, let's post to YouTube and share more about this. This comes up a lot in sessions I have with clients because in a session, we're looking at your entire energy field, we're looking at your soul frequency, and we're looking at what's going to create alignment with your soul energy in your life. This is the key to manifestation. So when we're aligning with the things we want love and abundance and joy and passion and fulfillment. All of that is just you living out your unique soul code, your unique soul frequency. And there are different things that are moving us forward in our reality. There is our free will choice. We get to create in this life. We get to choose, where we want to live and who we want to spend our lives with and who our friends are and what we're going to do tomorrow and what we're going to wear today. We get all kinds of free will choice, which is beautiful. And we also have soul contracts and a map that's laid out that is really connected to the big things that we are here to experience, that we're here to learn, and that we're here to contribute. In my work, I focus a lot on mission because I find that when you are in alignment with your soul mission, which is in itself a broad term, that is where things flow to you. That is where you receive the support, the resources, the inspiration that you really need. And what I find is when people are very off mission, so to speak, when they're off mission, this is where they will feel very stuck. This is where they will feel unfulfilled. This is where they might experience body symptoms, illnesses, quote, bad luck, which I don't really believe in luck, but things aren't really flowing the way they want it to be because your soul is saying you've got to get on mission, and I am going to put roadblocks here for you because I'm trying to get you to turn in a new direction to bump back into your mission. So why does this pop up so much in client sessions? And where is the resistance here? I really believe that for many people, just from my experience working with people and reading their soul mission, their signature, and getting to know them, I find that for most people, heading toward your mission is going to involve some of the scariest things for you. It is very much going to push all of your edges. It's very much going to bump up against every part of your ego. And we all have very different things, very unique things that, for lack of a better word, trigger us. There are very specific things that for me in my life make me scared and make me uncomfortable. And I'm like, whoa, I do not want to do that. And those same things for somebody else, I might think, what's the big deal? That sounds fun. That sounds great. Because it's just a unique set of things I am meant to overcome. It's activating me in that way for a reason. Your soul mission is tied up so intimately with your strongest skills and with your biggest lessons, with your biggest growth. So it's always going to go hand in hand with your biggest growth opportunities. And to be clear, soul mission is a big term that can be connected to a lot of different things in our life. So mission, I know a lot of people just assume it's about career, but it doesn't have to be related to your career at all. For many people, their soul mission doesn't have to do with their career. And for some people, it's very tied up in it. But soul mission can be multifaceted, can show up in many different ways, can be different at different phases in your life. And it's not just one thing. There's typically different things that are part of the mission. And why this pops up so much is because, like I said, it's so intimately wrapped up with your biggest growth points and often the things that you are in the deepest resistance to and some of your deepest fears. And another way of saying that is it's going to be connected to some of your most vulnerable places a little bit. And so people will often come to me and they're like, I have this desire. I have this dream. I really want to do XYZ. I feel so called to this. I feel so connected to it. This is my purpose, XYZ. And I'm just feeling stuck with it. And there could be many reasons for that are super individual. But something that I have been seeing a lot recently is I'll tell them, I'll read their soul energy. I'll talk to their soul, and it's very clear. And I'll say, that's not your mission though. It's your heart's desire. And this is where people pause. And this is why this is important, because I know in spirituality, we often talk about the idea you're gifted a desire. You have that deep desire in your heart because you're meant to do it. And I'm not saying that's not true, but I'm saying that that's not necessarily your main mission. So somebody might have a deep, deep, deep desire in their heart to write a book. And that's beautiful. And so that's a deep desire in their heart. That's something they really, really want to do. And so by all means, go for it. By all means, write that book. Or they have a deep desire to make a certain type of event that comes up for a lot of people. Like there's usually a creative project. This is where it often comes up for people. They have this deep desire. And it is a true desire in their heart. And that's very real. And I believe that we have a true desire deep in our heart. We should absolutely go for it. We should absolutely bring that to fruition and align with it. But that does not necessarily make it the same thing as your soul mission. And what happens sometimes is people are so set on their heart desire that they are not aligning with their mission as well. And the thing is that vibrationally, when you are going after your heart desire and you are setting aside your soul mission, so you're not also doing that, you're going to experience blocks. When you are also aligned with mission and in alignment with the heart desire, first of all, both start to flow very easily. Your whole life starts to get a lot more in alignment. Things are flowing to you. You're having more signs and synchronicities and inspiration. Things are open. It's flowing. It all works out better. But okay, now you're in alignment with your highest vibrational track, which is, yeah, you're here to do the mission. You're here to contribute this. You're here to serve in this way. You're here to learn this lesson. That is soul mission. And you are not going to be able to avoid that. You can try, and things are going to keep getting stuck over here. Things are going to feel like they're not working very well. You're going to experience a lot of resistance. You might not feel as fulfilled. You're going to notice a difference, because the way to feel the way you want to feel has to include living out your soul mission, because that's when everything is in natural alignment. When you have a soul coding and you come onto this planet and you're so busy with all this other stuff that you want to do, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. Do it. But when you are so busy with this that you're not following your soul coding of what you're coded to experience and to deepen into, and to learn from, to grow with, to contribute, that is where the field is out of balance. Your field is out of balance, and that is where you are not in your most authentic energy. You're not fully in your soul authenticity. Being in alignment with your soul authenticity guides you down your soul mission track. So it's important to understand the difference between these, because a lot of people are very confused and think they're one and the same, but they're not necessarily. And sometimes they do overlap. Sometimes the thing that people have deep in their heart as their desire is their soul mission. But there are a lot of times when people's soul mission is the thing that maybe isn't as sexy, or the thing that maybe isn't as easy. And that's where people get really caught up in the heart desire. So again, my point is not that something is better than anything else. My point is not don't pay attention to your heart desire. My point is pay attention to all of it and understand that there are different layers of your experience that are fully active, and your free will choice is fully active, but your free will choice is not going to overpower the destiny points and the soul code that you came into this planet with. You are going to have alignment with that. It's just, my eyes are green. That's how they are, and when you start to recognize that, then you can start to get more curious about, is there something that I actually get to add into my life? And I promise that when you're in alignment with your soul mission, it's only going to amplify and support any heart desires that you also want to pursue. But this is a really important thing to drop into so we can start to discern within ourselves what's what. And I think that things like desires and mission and purpose are very casually interchanged, and they're actually quite distinct. And when you start to understand the difference vibrationally, then you can start to understand the mechanics energetically of why things are flowing in your life and why they're not. But the main message that I would want to share with you is that what I know to be true, vibrationally through the thousands of people I have read, through the 30 years of working in the non-physical and reading the source field and talking to thousands of non-physical beings, is that you have something that you're here to contribute. Many things. You're here to contribute. You're here to learn. You're here to, be in service to. You're here to receive. There are things that your soul is coded for. And those things are in highest alignment for you because they're your soul code. So when you lean into that and allow that to happen, it creates flow in your field and it creates synchronicity and it opens up everything, versus when we're just going after our free will choice and we're not paying attention to some of that deeper coding and those bigger expansion points that may or may not feel fun to the rest of you, right? To your heart, maybe. You can't override it. So I want you to really drop into that. And for some people, this never comes up because their heart desire and their soul mission align and they really desire that mission. And that's beautiful. That's great. But I do know for some people, they are distinct. And I'll often break this down for people. Like when it comes up in career, for example, that's a huge one where people get really caught in like, this is my mission. And I'm like, that's not actually your mission. That's your desire of what to do. That's your desire of how you want to bring this forward. But the mission isn't actually specifically that. The mission is often a lot less specific. And we get to have free will choice of how we bring it forward. It's usually a lot more energetic. And when people realize that, they can start to see why there's friction and what could maybe open up some doors for some more flow. So I hope that you found this topic interesting. I had a lot of people ask me to share about this in a video because I've had this conversation with so many people in my life recently. And if it does resonate for you or if it turns something on within you, please leave a comment below or let me know if you have any other questions. And if you did enjoy this, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe so that you don't miss a future video. If you are interested in diving deeper into the distinction between these two, what I would recommend is checking out a couple of my guided energy work meditations in my app, in the Christina the Channel app. I have a few that are really helpful for this. One that I think everybody should really do is it's called Embody Your Soul Frequency. And this really aligns you with your soul energy. And that is the one that I would say to start with to get to know like what your specific soul frequency is. So you can start to tune into what is it that my soul is guiding me toward? What is that my soul mission is connected to? And the other one that I would recommend is going to be there's an open your heart meditation. And that is where you're going to connect in with your heart desires. And that's where you can start to ask that very pointed question to get to see, what's my soul energy versus what's in my heart. And sometimes those overlap, but sometimes they're slightly different. And so great, go for all of it. So if you want to check those out or any of my other guided meditations and guided energy work at home, you can get a 7-day free trial. Just go to christinathechannel.com/membership and you can sign up for that 7-day free trial today and check it out. That is going to be it for today's video. So thanks so much for hanging out with me and I will see you next time.